team, baby.
Okay,
Saves you a lot
how
of
about
time.
this? How about this? Okay, this guy, he said, I love recruiters who do these three things. They've clearly made an effort to check and see if there's a match between me and the job they're working on before they approach me. Okay, this is the biggest complaint about recruiters, that they just mass mail people and they get inappropriate jobs, and they really makes them cranky and it makes them hate recruiters. But here's the other one that I want to focus on. They practice a soft sell approach, which means they take no for an answer. Okay. Does anybody want to comment on that? They take no for an answer. What's the opposite? Andy, you want to go first? You too busy there to answer?
I was writing in a question that I wanted to add.
Okay, well,
So go to
I
someone
can
else.
pass on you. Does somebody else, Tinny? Do you want to? If you approach somebody, I don't know how you approach people, Tinny. Do you approach them through email or a phone call or whatever, and you present a position, and the person says, no, this isn't for me. Do you press back? Do you do anything, or do you just say, okay, great, maybe we'll speak again someday?
Yeah, I take the no and move on.
And you don't say, look, you know what? I think you should consider it for this reason, and I'll give you 3 data points, as everyone here likes to say.
Well, if I think it's a shoe-in, I might push a little bit, but then I'll let it go.
Okay, so you're an easy no. I always go ahead.
You know my answer.
I don't know your answer, Rich.
The first no is just everyone says no. That's your first, your first, someone calls you up. No, I'm not interested. Of course, that's what everyone says. Who wants to be sold, right? So, you get past the first no by saying, well, listen, if not for you, who? Here's the story anyway. You give them the pitch anyhow. And then you ask them something, hey, would that be something you may be interested in? And it said, yeah, maybe they say no again. Maybe they say yes, who knows? And you go down your conversation to say yes. If they say no, it's like, hey, well, what would you be interested in? I mean, it all depends on the conversation. Some guys, I typically want to start off with a story about what the guy's interested in, but
you're going in only, they say no, you see no as a mindless reflex. So you come in saying, who do you know? And this is the job. You use that as a pretext to give more details. And then you present it for themselves personally.
Yeah.
And if they say no a second time, you don't continue to press.
I usually try to get 3 no's. Like if they say no the second time, I'm just like, oh, listen, with your background, I thought you'd be perfect for it. But again, if not you, who would you hire if this was, if you were hiring for this role, who would you hire? And
Penny,
then they'll say,
Penny, is Rich too pushy?
I don't think for his market, I would guess, but in our market space, there's enough of the talent usually that we search for. So moving on is so much easier, and just finding someone that actually is more open to the move. So I wouldn't necessarily say so.
But if they're more, are they more open, or you just haven't asked the right question, pushed the right button? Because you got to get past that natural reflex.
Yeah, I do agree with you though, right? Because some people are, they get cold feet real easily, or feel that this person might talk to my boss or my company, right? So sometimes you have to ease them into it, but it all depends on the no. You have to read the no. Is it
exactly
a reflex, or is it actually, So I would say, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's like, again, there's no black and white answer to it.
I like that. I like Rich's point there, though, that it's the first answer is mindless. It doesn't mean anything. Anybody else want to say something very clear about this? Anybody?
Just a personal thing. This is I've done this a few times where they'll say, no, I'm not interested in that. I don't want to work in that industry. And I'll say, okay, no worries. But if you know anybody, the base salary is probably only going to cap out about 175. On target is usually about 2x. So like, well, let's go ahead and talk.